Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Meteorologist Zach Fridella here with you, and it's been a while. It's been about 2 months since I've kind of done one of these videos. The last event or weather event that we've had was, Nate, back in, I think that was the first week of October. But since then, absolutely nothing. About all we've had was drought conditions. We had one of the driest Novembers I think the state's ever seen. We barely seen any rain, but now all of a sudden, everybody wanted cold. It's definitely cold, that's for sure. And it's only going to get colder, and the rain is only going to continue. And then what happens? Eventually you get to a point where you see frozen precipitation, and there is the potential for frozen precipitation as we head into late Thursday night into Friday morning. Let's get right to the details because, boy, predicting snow in the deep south is not a fun task because it happens so infrequently that no matter what you do, it's either gonna, if it happens, ooh, everybody praises you. If it doesn't happen, which it doesn't happen more often than not, everybody kind of beats you up over it. But this is what we have as far as a setup across the nation. We have a strong subtropical jet stream. That's what's producing all of the rain showers that continue to fall across all of the deep south. And then we have this plume of cold air digging out of Canada. At the surface, cold air sinks. So the heavier the cold air is heavy. So it's at the ground first. That has already made it to the Gulf Coast, and it's undercut this warm conveyor belt of moisture that's riding up and over it. So that's why we're seeing that light rain shower activity. But then as we get this surge in the upper trough that digs down, that's when the atmosphere is going to cool up above us enough that we could see some frozen precipitation. What time that happens is the kind of kicker. That's what's going to determine how this all plays out. Okay, going to back this up. This is the GFS model. See the upper trough? That is currently in position. Okay, now I'm going to put this into motion and show you what does that upper trough do as we head into your day on your Thursday. Whew, it starts to really dig. All the way down into northern Mexico, that upper trough is digging. Remember, this is cold air aloft. Once you start to get the peak of that upper trough right here, this is very cold air aloft. That eventually, when it moves over, is when the atmosphere is going to be cold enough for snow. Happens Thursday night into Friday morning. But also, when that upper trough gets over you, here's the tough part. It's also going to push the moisture train eastward. At what point does that moisture train move out and that cold air get over you to where it's cold enough for snow? It's trying to match the two up. And wherever they can match up, that's where you see snow. They might not ever match up. Like I said, predictions with forecasts in the deep south, it happens so infrequently and it happens so rarely that any type of projection of frozen precipitation and it doesn't happen, people remember it for the longest of times, that is for sure. So let's jump into the NAM model. That was the GFS model. We're going to jump into the NAM because the NAM has been the wettest. It's brought the most moisture once the air has been cold enough for snow. It's been the wettest with bringing more moisture, and obviously it's going to bring it in the form of, say, some snowflakes. As we go into tomorrow night around midnight, look how it starts to change over, and it's only right on the back side. Again, all of this is rain, okay? It's obvious what the rain is, and it's this back edge that's far enough into that cold air that it's cold enough to snow, okay? As we put this into motion, it keeps just, as we go into Friday morning, look how it changes a lot of South Louisiana into snow and gets all the way into Southeast Louisiana. Portions of Southeast Louisiana get into snow. So it's stretching from Lake Charles to Lafayette to Baton Rouge and maybe even as far southeast as New Orleans. But the North Shore, you obviously have the better shot at seeing some snowfall. And if this is right, we could be talking some accumulating snow. Okay, no, this is not going to be, hey, close the roads, the ice is developing everywhere. The temperature at the ground is never going to get to freezing or below freezing. So this is not going to be an event where we have to worry about the ground being a big problem with driving. This is going to be a novelty. If it happens and you see the flakes fly, it might be really cool. You might see some accumulation in some of those heavier bursts, wherever they may occur, if they occur. In some of those heavier bursts, you might get some accumulation on the grass and whatnot, and the roof, obviously, and on your cars, but we're not talking about a big travel hazard. By Friday afternoon, we probably will see the sun come back out, and we'll jump right into the 50s right after this. So, again, this is going to be a couple-hour duration thing with the potential Friday morning, the best potential Friday morning, and then it's going to be over with. The cold air is going to stick around, though, so we're still going to deal with freezing temperatures later on this weekend. Now let's get into another model, which I showed you the GFS upper air. That was the NAM showing all of that crazy snow. We're going to jump into the GFS, and this is a projection of snowfall totals. Red flag, immediately up. These models do not show snowfall totals very accurately. They usually overestimate them drastically. Okay, I will put that out there. Now, one thing I want to put this on here for is to show you, this is the GFS, the latest GFS, just came out about an hour ago. And notice how much of Louisiana has at least some kind of dusting of snow. Let me bring you back to the previous run of that GFS model. Notice how much of South Louisiana doesn't see anything. Last run, new run. Last run, new run. Slowly, the GFS has been the worst. It's been the one that says, hey, it's not going to snow. Slowly, it's creeped closer to the other ones that are saying, hey, it's going to snow some. So, you know, we're trying to figure, because right now, it looks like the GFS is, you know, you're going to want to rely on it. You're going to want to jump on the GFS train, because chances are it's not going to snow. But right now, everything that's telling me is there's going to be some kind of corridor in South Louisiana. My confidence is increasing that flakes are going to fly for at least somebody. How many flakes? Well, that's kind of a kicker that I have to figure out, especially as we head into tomorrow. We can single these things out, and we might be able to throw out maybe some totals. Again, these totals are not going to be drastic. We're not talking about 6 inches of snow, but maybe we could get a dusting, maybe an inch in some spots where that, you know, where maybe that band changes over a little bit early. This is the Canadian, and I know my weather friends are going to come after me and say, why did you show the Canadian? But you can see how this is the general area from central Alabama through South Mississippi across South Louisiana. This is the general area that we're showing the potential that there could be a changeover to frozen precipitation. Northern Louisiana, too far north. All the precipitation is going to be to your south. Alexandria, still think you might be too far north, okay? The precipitation might be to your south, which is rare. Usually you're the one that's cold enough for snow, and you see snow in South Louisiana just stuck in a cold rain, but right, it's somewhere in this corridor. That's the Canadian. I showed you the GFS and how it's kind of switched. Let me show you another one, European. It's exactly like hurricane season. Don't get me wrong, you know, these things don't change. We don't look at other models at different times of year. Yeah, I can't show you a spaghetti plot of a snowfall forecast, but here's the European, and there it is. You can see that same general band of areas from say, Lake Charles to Lafayette, across the North Shore, maybe even as far south as New Orleans. That's kind of on the edge, but it's showing 2 to 3 inches. That's a healthy, maybe even upwards of 4 inches. That's a healthy, say, band of snow. Now, how's it all going to play out? Well, that's the kicker. I'm going to try and put out a map later tonight on my Facebook page and on the website and all to show you sort of my thinking. Right now, I would never put 2 to 3 inches of snow in a forecast because we still are in that stage of will it happen, will it not happen? My confidence continues to increase that there is going to be flakes flying for somebody across South Louisiana as we go into Thursday night into Friday morning. But you see how every model, it's different amounts on every model, but the same general area. That South Louisiana across South, you know, Mississippi, is the same general area that we're seeing those models project some type of snowfall totals, which kind of gives me the confidence to say, hey, flakes are going to fly. We're probably not going to see multiple inches, but somebody's going to see some flakes. Now, a lot of people have asked, why don't we see freezing rain or anything like that? Well, number one, right now, it's way too warm up above us. Like I said, we have to wait for that upper trough to swing through. That's when it's going to get cold enough. And even when we get cold enough up above us, the ground is not going to be to freezing. So obviously we can't see freezing rain. Sleet could be a possibility in those heavier bursts of precipitation. We're probably going to get some sleet pellets. But when this does change, it's going to change mainly to a snow or a rain snow. We're not going to see like a rain, freezing rain, snow. It's not going to be a big mixed bag. It's going to go from rain to snow if and when it does happen in your location. As is always the case with these weather events during the winter, somebody's going to be very upset with me. And somebody's going to say, you said it was going to snow. Look, somebody's going to see some flakes, I think, with this. But as far as, you know, making everybody happy, that is not going to be the case. This is not going to produce widespread snow all across South Louisiana. But for those that it does, it'll be one of those surprises that's just enjoyable to watch for the few hours. And then by Friday afternoon, it'll all be gone, unfortunately. But again, I'll have more information later tonight. I'll put out another little projected map that shows the likelihood, the area that's the highest likelihood, and maybe throw out maybe a total or two as far as what we might see as far as the actual snowfall slash mixed precipitation accumulations as we go into Thursday night into Friday. I'm meteorologist Zach Fidella. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Wednesday, and remember, stay tuned as we kind of watch this thing play out over the next, say, day or so.